T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Thanks to a generous donation from G-Toney, he gave this to me for free. I already did a live stream on it where I unboxed this set and some other figures. Go check that out. I'll put a link in the description, link at the end of the video. If you need to see the packaging, everything you need to see as far as that is in that video. I don't want this video to be extremely long. I'm already months behind other people who already reviewed it. So anything you don't see in this video, I'm gonna apologize in advance. And I'm only doing this. I would just do what I do, but some people come into the comments just bitching and moaning about stuff, especially Transformers fans. So whatever you don't see, I'm apologizing now. But this is Transformers Legacy Victory Saber set. And it's a HASLAB product. If you don't know what HASLAB is, push pause and Google HASLAB. HASLAB. Anywho, let's get to the smaller things first. You get a repaint of the blast effects that came with Commander Class Jetfire from Transformers Siege. They split up into 3 segments, and you can port them on the weapons and other areas on their body as you see fit. Now we have the Micromasters Fire Holi. Micromasters were reintroduced during Transformers War for Cybertron Siege, and they have not been the best quality. Even though this is a part of a HASLAB set, it's still the same thing. They are Micromasters. That means that when you try to move the legs up, they will pop off and whatnot because of the way they're designed. The leg on this one, on Holi, bumps right there. You can force it or take it off and put it back on again. Maybe not. But yeah, just know that it can do this, but anything beyond that's going to make the legs pop off. It's nicely painted though, in the robot mode at least. And it has head rotation. The arms can go out at the side right here. And besides that hip joint articulation that can go out this far, you have a ball jointed knee, and a knee bends pretty much infinitely due to transformation. You see how this transforms. The arms go in, the legs fold up, and this rotates around to cover it. Fire has a lot of paint on it. All of this, the blue and the white and the head, is all painted. The blue right there is painted. The hands are painted right there. It's pretty much straight up plastic anywhere else. That head should be able to rotate because this mold has that feature, but getting it to rotate is difficult without a pair of tweezers. And if you do that, you may damage the paint, so I'm not going to do it. But his arms are on ball joints. They have limited articulation. There are no elbows. Legs can go out to the side that much. His legs can kick forward more. I'm not going to go more than that. They can go back. And there is no ball joint, but they bend right here pretty much infinitely due to the transformation. This ladder is capable of popping off. And yes, same transformation. You bring the arms down and you fold this up. And let's do that. But off camera, because who cares? Here they are in their vehicle modes. Holi doesn't have anything that's saying police or rescue or anything. But they did paint the windows for the most part, except this area right there. It can roll on the plastic little tires. It looks like this on the bottom. Yeah, it is what it is. This fire truck, that fire becomes, I can't say this is an Earth fire truck. And I don't really like the way it transforms. It's not cohesive, like the arms don't completely shut to make a cohesive thing. Sorry about that, box fell on the floor. You can extend this And I guess it can shoot out water with this being a ladder, and that can rotate. There's a port right there, and this can come off. But with the Micromasters, most of the Micromasters doubled as a weapon. So you could flip him over and port him into a figure's hand right there, and then it can be a gun. Same deal with Holi. You do that. Unflip the feet, make them fall off, and another robot can hold him like this with that handle, and you should be able to port blast effects right there. So there is that. This isn't in the instructions, but this is a feature that they gave to Micromasters in Siege. There used to be a combining gimmick, but these aren't really designed to combine in a good cohesive way. So yeah, there's that. I'm not even going to force it, but here they are. All right, Victory Leo from the set. He looks cool. Like when I saw them in the gray model, I really wanted, at least he was the main thing that I thought looked good in this set. But yeah, let's let you see him. You can attach this cannon to his side. It is angled a bit because the wings, and they don't give you suggestions in the book or the instruction manual for that anyway. But I like that it has these cannons on the side. There's the chrome foil right there on the chest, already pre-applied. The worst looking thing on this figure is the fact that the guns have the hollowness right there. But everything else is pretty much filled in. They went out of their way to do that. Articulate, or other features. You can detach the backpack, or these things right here, and the guns can come forward if you want. They can rotate and they can lift up like that. They can pop off of here and plug into the side of his arms, or plug into the hands. Now, I looked this figure up, or this character up, before doing the video, and I saw that he had the cannons actually under his arms like this. But you can't do that because the arms look like that under there. So being able to do this is still cool. But let's look at his face. There's that. It's covered in a little technical detail. It's not a smooth, like super duper cartoony figure, because it's part of Legacy and not Masterpiece. Articulation. The head is on a ball joint, but you don't get more than that as far as wiggle. Can't look up and down. It basically swivels. The wings can both go back that far, and do this if you like, if you want them to have a bigger wingspan. The arms rotate 360, but the wings are going to hinder that. They go out to the side that much. Swivel right here at the bicep. Bend more than 90 right there. And the wrists rotate. So that's cool. Absolutely nothing in the waist. No waist rotation. No ab crunch because of the way it transforms. Check this out right here. They have this crotch panel. The legs can go back and the panel moves with that. And you can kick forward more than 90. A little bit more than 90. Yeah. And it just comes back. But because of these side mounted Gatling guns, his legs pretty much only come out that far. You get thigh rotation and the knees bend 90 degrees. The toe goes down and up, and the toe acts as the ankle pivot. So my gripes with this figure quality wise on my copy, I'm not sure. You could watch someone else's reviews, or if you already watched and now you're here. Here's my issues. There's a latch right here that keeps the legs together. It likes to come unlatched, and this knee right here pretty much almost has zero friction compared to this one right here. Like, it goes down. Now, who picks up their toy from right here? Nobody. But while posing it, it can get weak and do stuff like that because he is definitely back heavy and he does not have a traditional foot design because all the ankle pivot is there and you're just going to be resting on this. But as you can see, I can get him in a pose. And if you have the gun in it, this giant gun right here, which looks like this, it would put more weight to the front, to be honest with you. For anyone who wanted to see this, the peg on the side can make it look like that, right there on the side of his arm. With this being a specialized set, these figures don't fit directly into a scale price point, but they just wanted to make them the height and scale that they thought was perfect for Legacy. As you can see, he's pretty much the same height as this Voyager class figure, and there are a ton of Leader class figures that are the height of Voyager class, but they cost more because they have better materials or thicker materials. This guy is definitely heavier, and if you include this gun, yeah, that's substantial compared to this. So I would say he's roughly a Leader class. All that out of the way, transformation. I'm going to push the feet up like that. I'm going to rotate the hands this way with the fingers up. Then we can go ahead and rotate the animal paws out like this. Oh, there you are with that. The head, this panel right here, needs to come down and cover the face. These tusks need to come down like that. And you're supposed to flare out the mane. The best way I can see to do it is lift the head up like that and do this. But it's probably going to push itself back. Don't kill yourself trying to fight against that. And we can go ahead and put the wings out like that. Now down here, there is a little grip right here that we need to pull out. And this panel right here comes out, and there's a hole right there. We need to bring this accordion, the leg, into here. There's a peg right there that goes into that hole now. Same thing over here. Bring it down. Peg goes into there. And we can go ahead and close this together. Now the legs, I'm going to rotate this way. And there's like a natural stopping point about here. Get the legs or the feet into that position. So the transformation is not that difficult for this guy. And we can go ahead and, this is kind of hard to grip. Bring this down like that. I guess that's supposed to be coverage of these legs right here. But basically, here's what you end up with. A giant robotic saber-toothed lion, or a lion with tusk, because they aren't like teeth. Leg articulation, limited. You get this. There's no ankle pivot or anything in the front or the back. These pretty much have all the same features as the robot arm, except there's no wrist rotation or ankle rotation. You can move these around and shoot at folks. And since I'm bringing that up, And it does come with the blast effects. We can port these here if anybody wants to see that. But yeah, the head, if you wanted to look up, you gotta break the transformation. So you can have it like about to bounce a little bit, but don't look at it from this angle. And it can't look down unless you just bend the legs to be down. But that is what that is. You can also attach this gun by putting this into this orientation right here, and it wraps around this right here, which is kind of easier said than done. This little peg goes into a hole that's right there. I hope y'all can see that. My screen is always dark when I'm recording, and then when I look at it on my TV later, things lighten up. But I don't want to fight with this on camera. You gotta kind of like line it up just right so that that can go in, and when it's in there, it is in there. So there you go. So you can have options. We can keep this, or you know what, have this like that, shooting out there, and just have these two little ones right here. Or if you've been collecting Transformers War for Cybertron for a while, you can add whatever blast effects you want. Any issues with this? I do wish it had some type of wrist or articulation and whatnot, ankle articulation, I mean, to go outward. This doesn't necessarily like stay, and the joints are not all that tight to hold up all the weight that this thing puts out. So there's that. The good positive thing is it's not like a super duper light toy. Comparison, here he is, pretty much same length as a Voyager class. The next mode he has, you need to pull this gun off. You can go ahead and rotate these like that. Go ahead and put the feet back into the orientation that they were in. So I'm going to peg that together and just put things back the way it was. The head, you can flare these tusks back out, shut that mouth, put it like this. The arms need to, there's a little peg right here that goes into a hole right here. We need to angle that up, get that there, and then flatten this. Same thing on this side. So I never owned the original toy, but I can't imagine this being all that different from the original toy. And now it's some sort of space tank thingy, but we can go the extra mile, turn the gun upside down. I'm going to flip this up, flip this up to here. There is a hole right there where we need to port the gun like this. There's another hole right here where this goes into it. So get that lined up, and now here it is. It's like a flying space tank that has no treads. So there's that. Here's that comparison again. He has another mode, but I'll bring it back out later. And now we have Star Saber. Star Saber has a ton going on. He could have just been a figure by himself, but they went the extra mile. That's why they made this HASLAB, so we can get everything possible that's needed for this guy all at once. But here's what he looks like. Sort of looks like a Gundam Transformer. I have his sword on his back. I already put the shield on and whatnot. He's holding this blaster. And yeah, he looks good. Let me zoom in on the face. Here's that. Now mine has an imperfection of, it has a scuff on the mouth guard, and right here on this chrome, it looks like somebody put a finger on there and the fingerprint just stayed. It doesn't bug me too much, but yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. Anything imperfection wise or just quality control wise or anything like that frustrates me. These antennas do not have a locking place. They are designed like that, so I can't even say that's a QC issue. They do not lock into place. I don't like that. Now, design issue. These panels right here, they do not stay in place. I tried to put like floor polish to tighten them up, but when you lift the legs and like kind of manipulate them, they will come loose and do all that. So to save yourself some trouble, the best thing to do is grab this whenever you want to articulate the legs, and then you'll be safe. But let's get into the articulation and then the accessories. The head can rotate about that far before you're stopped. You can look up this much before you completely break the sculpt right here, and you can see his other robot head under there. But from this angle, you'll be all right. The shoulders have a built-in butterfly action right there that can come in that much, so he can hold the sword better with two hands. This fully rotates 360. The arms go out that far, which I do not like at all. I wish there was a compartment that opened just like this right here, so the arms can go out further. You get a bend there, you get an elbow joint right here, plus you get an elbow joint right here. And when you work them together, you get slightly more than 90 degrees. Turn it this way, you get way more than 90 degrees. The wrist rotate, and without the gun in the hand, the fingers open up all as one piece. And the 5mm port kind of hides, just like Commander class Jetfire. But they put that there so he can definitely hold his weapons well. There is articulation right here, so the wrist can go in and out, and it's on ratchets so that it won't just be going in all the way all the time. He has an ab crunch, which is engaged already. Let's see. This is neutral. They have a purposeful ab crunch, and it really works. You got that going on right there. Legs go back some. Legs kick forward. Legs kick out to the side. Nice strong ratchets, as you can hear. Swivel. Knees bend 90 degrees. Mostly 90 degrees, besides it bumping into that. The ankle pivot. The ankles pivot in that much. They can, but it fights you. It doesn't want to stay in that position, to be honest with you. So it's almost like it doesn't even have ankle pivot. The foot or the toe can come forward, but it has a natural stopping point right here. So he's a very good figure. Like, it feels nice and solid. I like the added articulation that they gave to a figure. Like, most Transformers Legacy figures do not have things like butterfly joints. I can't even think of a figure that has butterfly joints. Maybe Studio Series Hot Rod? No. I can't think of a figure that has butterfly joints. And there aren't too many that has actual purposeful ab crunch. Studio Series Wreck-Gar has an ab crunch. But this sword, let's let you see this. Right there. Now they supposed to designed it in such a way where you can pull this off and force this into here. This is the bruh. That is the very first time I was able to get this straight in there. I have tried that over and over again. I hope it's not broken. Please don't be broken. But now it's straight, so he can hold this right here as a straight sword. But here's the problem, that peg gets in the way anyway. But what happened is this handle slots in there for transformation, and it made the sword shoot out. So let's see if I can do that again. I'm holding this while I put it in there. So wow, I've been trying to do this over and over again, but I guess it finally gave up. Something probably snapped off in there, and now I can actually put the sword this way. People wanted that, but really the original toy did this, and I think he held it like that on the cartoon. But this shield can be swiveled on this piece right here. You can come off of that, and you can actually take the sword and, you know what, let's take this off, put it back on there properly. You can take the sword, put it down there like this, and do that, and we can put this back on the arm, and he can hold everything right there. Or I should be able to do this without popping it off. The blade can actually fit inside the leg right here. It doesn't like lock into place, it's just loosely in there. And we can port the actual hilt right there on the side of his leg. Or like I had it, it's better off right here. You see how bulky he is. If you put that right there, his arm will always have to be out to the side, which is kind of annoying. Here's this gun. Now this gun is probably the cheapest looking thing in the set. Of course, he can hold the big gun that Leo, Victory Leo, has if you want. You have that going on right there. These move. I don't even know what that's actually for. I don't even think that's useful in his like base mode or anything. But there's that. Here he is next to my comparison bots, and as you can see, he is bigger than any of the leaders they have been releasing, but he's not super crazy big like Jetfire was. He's roughly around 8 and he's roughly around like 9 inches tall. I forgot to show off, it does have this regular handle on the shield. It does not have to stay on there like that. So if you want to, you can pull this off, and it has this regular handle. You can shut his hand and just port that into the hand. And now we can hold the shield like this in his hand if you want. So yeah, cool. I like them. It's mostly solid except that situation down here. If this worked better and the ankle pivot actually stayed, I could probably, if you keep messing with it enough, it probably will give up and start working. But he is definitely a good figure. You can get into the poses you need with the sword and the shield and the gun and whatnot. Well, like I said, also, I wish that the arms could go out 90 degrees. That would look a lot better, to be honest. So I'm not going to give that a pass. But it's not a horrible figure. This thing does so much. One thing you need to do, or one of the things it can do, is when you open the back up, there's a button right here. I'm going to move these forward so I can detach this from that and that from this. And then there's a button here that releases Saber out of this cavity right here. It like kind of locks in place right there. But now we have Saber. We can pull this off, lift the face up like this, and these two things right here, we can go ahead and slide that on there. Bring the antennas forward for now. But I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm going to lift the arms out to the side like this. There's hands up in here. I'm going to bring those hands out. Bring this down. Separate the legs. And then, how does this open? This opens up like that. We can on accordion his legs right here, then shut him back, lift this panel up, bring out his toe, same thing over here, lift that out, lift the leg straight, on accordion that right there. Shut this. I say shut that. Shut this. Pull the toe out. Push these wings to the back. And basically get the shoulders up like this. And we have Saber. Saber is like he's roughly a small deluxe. Let's put him there and bring out this deluxe. They are close to the same height, but yeah, there's that. You can use this as a gun. Right off camera, here's a cool pose I did. But here's Saber's face up close. It has a silver nose. It looks like the visor comes down over it a little bit, making it look blue a little bit. He doesn't have more articulation than that because of the way this thing transforms. But yeah, there you are. I put that there. But the shoulders are on a hinge right here. Then they're on a ball joint. So there's that. You have a swivel. The elbows bend that much. And the wrists are on the ball joint so that they can rotate and go in without putting extra engineering into this. As you could tell, there is an ab crunch, which you do need to get more waist rotation. So, but it does bend well. So a deluxe class figure with an ab crunch. I don't think there's many of them. Swivel here, bend there, which is less than 90. You do have this ankle pivot. It doesn't, the toe doesn't go back or forward. So there's that. So he is cool. I am happy that he has this wrist rotation and waist articulation right there. But I do wish they came up with a way for him to be able to look up. Figures not being able to look up drive me up the wall. And you do have this extreme hollowness. Let's put the gun here. I mean, you got that going on, but it's still hollow. But anywho, let's bring out the brain of carriage. We can open up his chest. And now let's let you see this. That's how it articulates in there. This whole unit comes out. This is the guy who's controlling everything Star Saber. Fold this up. And here we are with this tiny 1-inch action figure right there. Who has articulation to do that. It has the face still going on back there. And the legs are combined to do this. Let's do a comparison with him and a Micromaster. And yeah, that would be in scale with a car robot. So that's cool. I'm pretty sure if I tried, this thing can fit inside many a Transformer to be able to ride inside. I don't see any like real cockpit situation as far as this goes. So there's that, but let's transform Saber. Open that back up. You can put the helmet in here. Shut this up. I'm going to take this off. Rotate the hands back into there. Now the legs, I'm going to put the toes back down. Lift these back up. Or down like that. Open this panel. Re-accordion this stuff right here. Shut that. Open this panel. Bring that back down again. Shut this up. Then we can close this. And then we can bring the arms back down, which basically stops the waist from swiveling. We can lift this wing down while leaving the painted wing up, or whatever you call this. Please don't call me out. People are so anal. Bring these wings out. And then we can connect this right here. And now Saber is a jet. If you wanted to, you could put this gun here. Now that the hands are in there, you can't really port anything into that comfortably. Or you can put the gun up here. But the main thing you need to worry about is opening that cockpit, which has the sword hilt in there. We can get the brain of carriage, which is a weird ass name for a robot to be called. And we can shut that. So there's this. You can, if this wasn't right there, we could port that right there so the gun could be under it. But I'm gonna put the gun up here again anyway. So turned into a decent space cartoony jet. That looks like pretty much every aerial bot ever. So yeah. Now what can you do with the rest of this? One of the things, he has what's called like a base mode. With the hands closed like that, we can shove them up into this cavity. Make sure that they're straight, shove them up into that cavity. This, I had it hanging down, but basically it needs to come down like this and get into that orientation. Now we can move the shoulders back. And basically, this panel opens up and the arm accordions inside, and we can shut that panel back. Open that up. Arm accordions inside. You shut that back. Now we can lift these side panels up. Put the legs up like this. And we can take the toe, bend that in, and then push this past this while bringing that in. Now I'd still have this sword inside of here. I'm gonna shove it in here, but you could take it out because it, like I said, that's not a secure fit. Do that. Do that. We can take this gun, put it here, and now the shield, if it's still in this orientation, these two pieces right here, and I did put floor polish on this to make that thicker because this is a very frustrating situation right here. These are supposed to fit into here on both sides. In my experience, that doesn't work well. Like, at all. I'm gonna shove it into one side. Try my damnedest. Oh man. See, this is the stuff that makes these videos take long, because I gotta explain, but you see what I'm doing? That does not stay well at all. Get it there, lay it down. You see what I'm working with. This right here is supposed to keep this thing from falling back, and I already attached the head. I'm going to lift the antennas up so that they're not bumping into this. But essentially, here is the base mode. Whoever was in charge of this and said, that's good enough, they need a stern talking to. But there's that. And I'm guessing you can have Saber and the little brain of carriage interacting for whatever that's worth. Next mode, we can take that off. Next thing you want to do is pull this gun off, and we're gonna pull the head off of these two clips. Now, I'm going to lift these two panels up right here, straight up, and bend the legs right here at the hips. Just break that open right there. The arms I'm going to bring down, and this little notch goes inside of the area right there inside of the forearm. Like, kind of get that into place. And when we do that, we can open this panel up and accordion this stuff in here, and now line this stuff up right here, and just line that up, and then we could try to close this. Bring the wing down, bring this wing up, and same thing over here. Bring this down, like latch this onto that leg latch. The sword is still in there. I'm gonna open up this panel, accordion this in there, get that to there, and shut this. Open that up, open that up. Now, on my copy, I can't get this to stay shut worth shit. And here's a common issue that happened to people, unfortunately, super unfortunate, with this being a made-to-order, once-in-a-lifetime set. Some people got the same panel on both sides. So if you don't have the holes in the front on both sides, you got one hole back there and one hole in the front, you won't be able to transform this successfully. But you could bring this down all the way, come out and bring this helmet right there. It pretty much is ready to go. You can take the shield with the handle in there like that. This top port needs to peg on to there. So there's that. But now we gotta take Saber, bring these down, get the wings kind of up like that, and make sure this is straight. But that's like a port that pegs into the same thing that had them in there in the first place. And robot mode, port that into place, lift this up, and now boom, here's his flight mode fully working right there. We We can port this gun right here, and to get them combined up with Victory Leo to be the V-Star jet, you can take this off and kind of lift this up right there. Now the only thing we need to prep over here is this part right here. Doesn't need to be out anymore. Open that up, shut them, bring that back, and now these two pegs right here need to they need to slide down into these grooves right there. So this is why it will be a problem for you if you had two of the same parts. You wouldn't successfully be able to peg this together. I'm gonna move these guns out a bit, but these two pegs right here goes into the two ports down there. So this, you need to take this handle, put it down here. I'm guessing I was supposed to put this up, so I lied about the prep. Get that up, out the way. I don't remember that being a step, but port this back on. Get the gun there, and now he is the V-Star jet. Let me put this gun on there. We can port this here, and so that will look better. I bring this down. He does have some landing feet right here to keep it straight up. Let me bring this back. But it is a big jet with a bunch of cannons. Like a gun there, gun there, gun there, gun there, gun there, gun there. I guess these could be guns. And let's bring out my comparison bot. Here's a deluxe land on there. And here is a Voyager right there. So it is roughly super duper close to 12 inches long, if it's not 12 inches long. One thing I've been neglecting to show, and I'm going to show in the last mode, the stand that this came with. This can slot off of there and get ported back into here. This piece right here needs to be on there like that. It is removable. It basically grabs into the crotch right there. There's a peg right here. You set it on top of the crotch, and now it can be suspended off of the ground and on display. Yay, yay, yay. I like it. Comes together mostly well. I don't really like the shield connection in this form. It hasn't seemed to be like the best. Well, this is the best I've been able to get it, so I'm not even going to complain about that. Oh, this just is what it is. It's a big, giant, monstrous ship that I wouldn't want to fight against. The only thing weird about it is a random lion head just chilling out back there. Now here's the part where, do I take this all apart and transform it back because you need help? Now Victory Leo in this mode right here, gonna no, leave the cannons like they are. I'm going to push this off of this, which is basically his body. We can bring this down like that. Bring this out to here. Well, actually, we need to actually rotate this and bring that down. But everything else can stay like it was in its jet mode. And we can basically leave this like this. Now this guy needs to basically separate, and this splits in half. Once you split it in half, we can pull this out, which will become a foot. The outward direction, this will be his left foot. Now we can, with everything still transformed the way it is, break it here. Right here at the Gatling cannon thing right there. Take this peg and it goes into a hole right there. So clip that into place. Now we need to bring this thing back out and lift this up right there. This one, same deal. Lift the foot up, but it has one extra step. This needs to go up like that. And now we need to do the same thing. Get this to peg together with this yellow peg. Lift this red part up. Lift this up. Ow. And now we can take this, put the feet back how I had it. And this red clip actually clips around this bar right here. So clip that together, and then this clips over what's left of his foot nub. Same thing over here. Now he's a little bit taller. He's a baller. And all other corny crap I can say. But this peg right here goes into that right there. Clip that in place. The blue part actually clips around it. Come on. Oh, Jesus. It's hard to do behind this camera. Let me just tell you, that took a lot of freaking effort. Then we can close this up, and it clamps into his back, getting it even more secure. And now we can actually clip this to here, making that even more secure. And now it's basically up to you at this point what you want to do as far as posing him. But he is significantly taller than my backdrop. Here's my comparison dude. So if he was like 9 inches tall before, he is very close to being 12 inches. Here he is with my Legacy Minosaur and Combiner Wars Devastator. So I think Minosaur is directly 12 inches tall. So it is shorter than that. Minosaur is freaking heavy. That's a figure I completed because I got breakdown and I wanted to do a review, but I didn't want to do the review before this one because I promised G-Toney that I was going to review this. So here it is. It's reviewed. I like it. If I would have paid for this, I wouldn't be disappointed. If I would have been one of the people that got the QC issue with the leg swap situation, I'd be upset. Everything else I can pretty much live with. That the Micromasters, it's cool that they threw them in, but I knew they were going to be crap. With this being a Japanese character, I'm not super duper familiar with it. I tried to watch the first episode of the cartoon that was dubbed in English, and I was like, ugh. But as a toy, it is definitely still cool, and it does a lot. It does a lot. And one of the last things I need to show that it does is it has a 5mm port right there, 5mm peg in this stand. You can put that there, and now it's suspended off of the ground, which you have to bend the knees to really get that effect going. So there's that. Let's bring the camera back out again. So there's that option. And I mentioned this earlier, but here he is holding it with both hands. And the butterfly joint engaged. But yeah, I'm tired of filming this. I like it, like I said. I believe it retailed for $169.99. But if you try to buy it now, you ain't gonna get that price. So good luck. Good luck hunting. But yeah, it's still a good figure to me. Besides the things that I brought up, if you can't get around the things that I brought up, I don't blame you. So there you are. But I personally like it. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you sat here all this time, until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Figure action. That one's me.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description.
Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click